Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum TTRPG podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
And we've got some myths to talk about tonight.
Yes.
I'm really stoked. I know almost nothing about this one either. I think. I could be surprised. But this one seems like it's going to be really fun.
Okay. So we're going to Monster Resident Evil. There in fact, yeah.
Very nice.
I do. I can't tell you how many times I've ripped off Shakespeare for fey stuff, for fairy things.
Yeah.
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 Right, yeah. Or like the Arthurian tales for fairy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we're going by those rules for stuff. All right. So pick Sri Lanka, and last week, and just like many other places around the world, it's not just got one. Well, the nations of border just doesn't have just one type of people in it.
Yeah.
So I picked one to talk about. Who would make that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Power Rangers. I'm sure.
I'll get that for sure, though, Waverly.
So the people I talk about in Sri Lanka are the Sinhalese people, but there are other ethnic groups there. You've got the Tamil, who have some nativeness to Sri Lanka as well, and it's based like in the Indian Ocean, right at the bottom, off the coast of India. So there's a lot of Hindu influence, a lot of quite a bit of Buddhist influence. Of course, later on you had the Christian influence as well. So it's kind of a quite a mix of cultures. In fact, the Sinhalese people, like, I didn't have a creation story of how the universe came into being, but they're like who we are as a people kind of involves India.
Okay.
It comes from India. Right. I got a rather long list of stuff to go through here. If you hear something, and this is what I was running in, because Hindu mythology comes across a lot through that stuff I heard it through the stuff I mentioned that I heard it through like Hindu mythology. It's like that's what it goes to in my mind.
Okay.
But that being said, we'll get started. Now, I got a power couple that I'm going to talk about first of all.
Okay.
Kavani is the first queen of Sri Lanka. She was a Yaka princess who married Prince Vijaya. And they are considered to be the founders of the Sinhalese people.
Prince R.
Huh?
I accidentally added an R. Ignore that R. That was not supposed to happen outside the laptop here, but yet it still did.
It did. But these are the people, the first king and queen of Sri Lanka. Have a lot of, like, in that age, a lot of mythology. This island developed.
Okay. There's a lot of art of them.
Yeah, we love that. They're kind of a big deal. Kind of. The story's not the same, but to me, it's like King Arthur in England.
Yeah.
This once and future king. They don't have a pantheon per se. Much more in line, like spirits and greater spirits.
Yeah.
We talked about like the Inuit were kind of that way. They weren't a god. Like Sebna wasn't necessarily like a creator god or anything.
Right.
But they were powerful spirits.
Mm-hmm.
There's different levels. I think there was a couple others we talked about that. The Kikuyu, I believe, was another one that kind of went into that. But I'm going to talk about the next one. I'm going to talk about is the Yakshas.
Okay.
Yakshas are benevolent, supernatural beings associated with nature, forests, and hidden treasures.
Yakshas, I know.
Right. They are often considered protectors of a specific natural landscape. Like, this place holds power. There's a yaksha that stays here.
Yeah.
You come upon a beautiful waterfall in the forest in your game, and Sri Lanka-esque thing, there's probably a powerful spirit being that's over that waterfall.
Yeah.
Or that area. Something through that.
Yaksha is also like a term that is very popular in anime
Yeah.
for like someone that is incredibly powerful, but as you said, is kind of tied to one area. I get that, Faith. I get that.
Yeah, we ran through nymphs. Nymphs and what is it? Was it dryads? That's the word.
Dryads, yeah.
For stuff might work as yakshas
Yeah.
in a campaign. These nagas.
Nagas,
Nagas, serpent-like beings associated with water bodies such as river lakes. They are believed to have the power to control rainfall and fertility. I don't know how those two go together. Well, I do know how those two go together.
Fertile ground.
Yeah, going through that, but that it like nagas is one thing I always think of from. That was one of the ones that was like, that was like Hindu mythology. Just that's the only place it stays.
Yeah,
going through there.
There's a sick statue of a naga that has 7 heads and a really long tail.
Yeah,
and it's great.
It guards treasure.
Nice.
You got a campaign, right? You got a session right there.
Yep.
Session right there. We already knew that. They're stats for nagas in D&D and in Pathfinder, I do believe. Okay. The Devil Devayo. Devil Devayo. This is kind of seen as a deity. It's actually venerated throughout Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And especially when you get to the fishing communities. He's believed to protect fishermen. And it's by his grace you have a successful catch.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's cool. That. I like having fish.
Yeah, I like fish too. Now that you mention it.
Pretty good.
The next one going to, there's a few of these Devios, but this is Kataragama Devio. And this deity is actually associated with a specific town called Kataragama.
Okay.
In southern Sri Lanka. And like I said, Hindu and Buddhist mythology kind of influences.
Yeah.
This deity is revered by Hindus, Buddhists, and the indigenous communities.
Okay.
And is a guardian, seen as a guardian deity.
So I'm seeing multiple pieces of art that have a man with 6 heads or a woman with 6 heads. 6 faces.
6 faces?
On the back of a peacock.
Okay. There's a few. There is cultural art, and neither one of us are smart enough to really talk about that. I mean, because I've seen a few like Hindi art pieces where they'll have like this one figure who they'll describe as a man, but when they paint it, he's got like 6 faces. Spread out, and as like a different expression. Maybe the beard's different on one, and the mustache is weird.
This is 100% how I would introduce this person, by the way.
Yeah.
So when they roll up on you, they're on a peacock, and they have 6 heads.
Yeah.
And they're holding a sword. They have 6 arms, too, in this picture. A sword, some arrows, and just 2 ladies.
There you go. Got it covered.
That's my favorite for tonight so far. That's such a weird, cool, awesome design. And when I say weird, please don't misunderstand me and think I mean like, oh, that's dumb weird. I mean like the cool kind of. Yeah. This is when I look at a Gundam, it's like, oh, this is weird and great and awesome.
Yeah. This is different. I understand. Okay. Another Devoyo. Bettini Devoyo.
Okay.
Very revered in the Sinhalese mythology. She is invoked for protection and well-being, but she is also associated with chastity,
okay,
purity, and healing. Let's do that. Within that, the next one, Mahasaman Divyo.
Okay.
Now, a little background, there is a place, I think it's known today by some people as Adams Peak. It's on the north side of Sri Lanka. I think there's some tales about there being a bridge built by a prince to come from India to Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And that's where it landed. There's quite a few different beliefs about Adam's Peak. But this deity is the guardian spirit of that mountain.
Yeah, okay.
There's annual pilgrimages among the Sinhalese people to Adam's Peak. And you got to have his protection to make it.
Okay.
You don't want to go out there. Don't want to go up there without it.
So that is emphasized really coolly, I guess. It's in a really cool way. I'm saying it really poorly. By the art that I'm seeing here, which has behind him is an elephant.
Yeah.
And its trunk is the path up the mountain.
That's cool.
And that I love it when you see stuff like that. That's so great. It's cool. Sri Lanka's great.
Yeah. It's got some wild stuff. Like I said, we're just skimming the surface. You start digging. There's lots of stuff you run across. We're like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep reading. Vibhishana. Now, this is an Indian character from the Indian epic Ramayana.
Okay.
You know, we talked about the Norse. We talked about the Ring epic.
Yeah.
It's written later on, but it's, you know, because it's just kind of equivalent to this massive tale with all, you know, these mythologies with all through it.
Right.
But Vibhishana, in the story Ramayana, he is the brother of the demon king Ravana.
Okay.
And he makes an alliance with Lord Rama, a cultural hero during the epic events.
Against Ravana, right?
I think so. I think Vibhishana and Rama take on Ravana.
'Cause I know Ravana from Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And so I think that's right. Like, for all I know, they just changed that in 14. But.
Maybe so. Another Divio, Gambara Divio. And this is he protects villages
Okay.
and like the border. You know, you don't move the border once the outlying. You respect the border. Gambara Divio, you know, protects your town. You know, from behind this.
It's a good thing.
But you respect borders on through that. Kandiyaka. It's 2 words. Kandiyaka, a regional deity associated with the Kandy region in Sri Lanka. And this is, as I talked about, it was over there. This one's for the protection of the area of the people of the Kandy region.
Okay.
Seen there. Yeah, I talked about like the one earlier, the Maha Samandivio,
Yeah.
associated with Adam's Peak and the guardian of that man. The one before about the town,
Yeah.
Kataragama, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Saman Devalaya, I just threw this one in there. This is actually a temple,
Okay.
and it's to the Maha Samandivio, and that's the pilgrimage site on Adam's Peak.
Okay.
Going through that, I'll put that one up there. Whew.
Oh, that place looks cool.
Okay. The Nalagiri the Nalagiri is an elephant mentioned in Buddhist legends as having been sent by the demon king Ravana to trample Lord Buddha, but Buddha's compassion tamed the elephant, preventing harm.
Okay.
Going through that.
It's also a monster in Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sri Lanka is kind of this weird place where it's like, yes, we hold to tradition, you know, these traditions, but they're ours,
Yeah.
you know. Going through that. Mahakola.
Mahakola.
Yeah. Which if I was trying to BS my way through a Trivial Pursuit and someone said Mahakola, I would have said like Polynesian, right?
Yeah.
Oceanic, something like that. Legendary serpent guardian believed to reside in certain natural settings in Sri Lanka.
Oh.
And spirits are often associated with water and fertility.
Okay.
everything over there has got something to do with fertility.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're
Fertility's fun.
I can't blame them.
Fertility's fun. All right. Some of these names, man. I'm working on
You're
it.
doing great as far as
Thank
I'm
you.
concerned. I look at some of these and go, how?
So we got Damala Mahasaya. Damala Mahasaya is a shoot, I should have looked that word up. The stupa in Sri Lanka that's believed to house relics of an ancient Tamil king. This is kind of like the temple.
Okay.
Both the Sinhalese and Tamil communities are like, yes, it's a sacred place. Those are sacred objects in that building or in that place going through there.
Oh, okay. I've seen these in Civ.
Huh?
The stupas. I've seen those in Civilization.
Yeah. Can you get a definition of that? Maybe we can help.
Yeah, let me pull that up. Let's see. Now that we have the laptop
better.
here, we might as well use it.
Yeah, there might be something better than just a building.
Make sure I spell it right. Here we go.
Stupa.
It is a dome-shaped structure erected as a Buddhist shrine.
Okay.
A couple examples for you would be the Great Stupa of Sanchi, which is the big domed shrine that has the peak on the top of it.
Yeah.
In Lhasa, and then also Madhya Pradesh in India.
Okay.
I think I pronounced those okay. Look, I'm a stupid American.
I think you did pretty good with Pradesh, honestly.
Does not yet know how these words work, but is hoping to learn.
Where okay. Kalu Kamaraya. Legendary figure in Sinhalese folklore.
Yeah.
This is another cultural hero
Okay.
type thing, right? Often depicted as a little bit mischievous, a little childlike spirit. Likes playing pranks, tricks on humans. I don't think like malevolent.
I got
Just I'm going to prove. Maybe not cultural hero is probably not the best word, but this idea
right.
that I just to prove I'm cleverer than you.
I got you.
You know.
I can't blame him for that.
Girihandu Saya. This is another stupa. Now this one holds the relics of the monk Mahinda, who brought Buddhism to Sri Lanka. And, once again, it's a place of, like you have this, these Sinhalese places and the Sinhalese God, which the Buddhist, Hindus, and everything worship, hold in reverence, you know. Then you have this Buddhist place in Sri Lanka where the Buddhists, Hindus, the Sinhalese, the Tamil, like hold in reverence.
Yeah.
And things like that.
This place is super cool. Chad, if you should look this up, this one. Gary
Yes, I will.
Hey, well, it looks super cool.
Another character for the Ramayana,
Okay.
the big Indian epic, integrated into Sinhalese mythology, is Sugriva. He is a monkey king
Oh,
who helps Lord Rama rescue Sita from Ravana.
you know how much I love my Monkey Kings.
There's actually a really cool picture of it's one of the, I think I may have it up somewhere in here, but of Sugriva, maybe is it him? No, I think it's Lord Rama striking at Ravana.
Yeah.
He's in a chariot. I think it's pulled by a swan. He's got the girl in the back, and he's cutting the thing on, and it shows him with like the 6 faces.
Yeah.
Different beards on each one. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's craziness. It's really cool.
I'm seeing some really cool art here too. There's one
For
that has Sugriva like locked in with a guy, and he's knocked his hat off, and he's wrestling with him.
Nice.
It's cool.
Sita Kotua.
Okay.
Now, this is a little bit weird. That is the name of an archaeological site in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
They have no idea what this archaeological site's doing there, but they do believe that it's associated with Sita, the wife of Lord Rama.
Right.
That's why they call it Sita Kotua. But
Okay.
they don't know.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, no, that emperor's in legend. Like, really? Because we just dug up his. That's a myth. Well, we just found his castle.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Quite a few that's actually happened, which is kind of strange. Not a lot.
I did not yet get to watch it, Will, but I did see that you sent it. I will watch it later. That I promise you.
Excellent. Okay. Kiripalo Divio. another regional deity for certain areas of Sri Lanka. They seek her blessings for protection and well-being.
Okay.
I don't know if like this seems. I don't know if we've had anywhere else. It's like, okay, yeah, like this deity. This is a guardian deity.
Right.
It covers these places. This guardian deity covers this places in the nation. You know.
Yeah, that's
I don't
really
think we've had another one like that.
I'm gonna watch it. I was busy yesterday because it was my birthday, but I'm gonna watch it.
Say it's your birthday.
I just sneak that in there somewhere.
Yes, well. Kiripalu Devio.
Yeah.
That's one I just did, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Kalawayara. Waraya.
Yeah, that one.
Kalawairaya.
Apparently, we have an ad that's just started, even though it told me we had 12 hours till the next ad. So.
There's different folktales and legends about this guy.
Okay.
The main thing about him is he carries a deadly black sword.
Oh. He's the Black Swordsman.
Yeah, it's like I do. Hello, there's a movie right there.
Oh boy, this guy's got some really cool art. He also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 11 heads.
Yeah, I think that doesn't mean he had 11 heads.
Right.
Maybe it meant he was as smart as 11 people. I'm not sure exactly what you're supposed to take away from that.
11 sets of arms, too. Maybe he's just really quick.
Yeah, because that's like a motif that seems to follow a few things.
Yeah. It does, in hindsight now, I understand a lot more when in... thanks, Will. In it was 10 on each side is why I said 11 dark. But in FF14, when Ravana, like, there's suddenly, like, 3 facings, you know? It's like, oh, yeah, that makes way more sense.
There you go. Now you know.
That makes way more sense.
Know. Guinea Raksha.
Ooh.
Fire spirits.
Yeah.
Or demons within the Sinhalese folklore.
Very cool.
There are, just like many things, there's certain natural locations they are associated with. And if there's a dangerous fire incident on any level, there you go.
Yeah.
Campfire got out of control, there you go. Volcano erupted, there you go.
Yeah. Yesterday, Rimas. Yesterday was the first and my birthday.
Yeah.
Well, no, I meant there were 5 on each. I'm sorry. There were 5 heads on each side. And so the one head in the middle makes 11 total.
Oh, my God.
Thanks, Rimas. Thanks, Dark.
Whatever.
For all I know, though, there was a bunch more on the back that I couldn't see. So.
Right.
And then, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Never mind. Alcapuri.
Okay.
Alcapuri. It's a mythical city believed to be located under Sripada, or Adam's Peak.
Okay.
It is said to be the dwelling place of a powerful deity.
Gartha?
I don't know if it falls into that. It is kind of that underground hidden kind of idea.
Agartha.
I know there are a couple more Devios. I got Kukul Devio.
Okay.
Another one that protects villages. A lot of time, especially for farmers and very, very rural communities.
Right. This is the one for them.
Yeah. Then Kinkini Devio is a female deity known for her protective and nurturing qualities. She is often invoked to help in domestic matters.
Okay. As in, like, hey, having troubles at the homestead, or is in like, hey, somebody's swinging, here she is.
I'm not sure.
Just maybe encapsulates everything.
I don't know if a husband calls on her and says, "Look, she has 2 black eyes. I've told her twice. You have to tell her now," or what it is. I think it's a little bit more of like the running of the household.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Through that.
I was just curious where this spirit fell on the issue.
Well, part of its name is kinky.
Yeah.
So we'll just leave it at that. Kohomba Kankiria. This is just a ritual and dance with mythological elements.
Okay.
This is for you do this for blessings and protection.
Oh.
This is the dance you do. Going through that. So I'm wondering.
Probably.
That can lead to domestic matters as well. Mahasana. I like this one. This one's begging for a story. Just it's just a demon, evil spirit, demonic spirit, and there's like remote forest areas where it's at.
Ooh.
Yeah. There'll be different stories and folk. And that's another thing, man. It's like wow. You got this a village over here has the same stories as the village over here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
The art that comes up for the Mahasona is a werewolf with a cavalry saber. And I want to know more. That's
a story right there. Story right there.
Want to know more.
If Hollywood would watch this podcast, they wouldn't have any more problems.
That's
like,
right.
Story idea.
Yep.
Check it out. There's amazing stories around the world. Humans are nuts. And they come up with some great stuff. Okay, so the Mahasana haunting remote forest areas.
Yeah.
Muthumariyamman. And this is actually a Hindu goddess, but is highly venerated in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
More so by the Tamil people,
more
than the Sinhalese, but still kind of goes across. Another fertility and protection.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Deciding whether or not, fertility and protection, deciding whether or not to put a condom on, this is who you pray to.
I guess so. There's a lot of art of her as, how do I word this without being culturally insensitive? An ogre?
Yeah.
But also holding up a bunch of people.
Okay. I don't know.
Kind of cool.
Woo! Kataragama Pathini.
Okay, you're gonna have to slow down on that one.
Kataragama Pathini. This is another goddess, and also associated with the town of Kataragama, and a powerful protective deity. Over that.
Okay.
Like if you live in that town, you'll be protected.
These take me a little while because I have to type them twice.
Okay.
And they're not short.
No, they are not. They are not.
Okay, yeah.
Do that. All right. A couple of these already got. Let me see. Mahindra is a legendary figure of Sri Lankan folklore, and it's big in Sri Lanka, and this is a protector of the Buddhist relics.
Okay.
And sacred sites. I talked about the Yakshas, the Nagas, the Genie Raksha. That was the fire spirits.
Right.
I doubled up a couple of these. I didn't mean to.
Well, when you're putting as much together as you are, it's understandable that it happens.
Rakava, mythical water spirit.
Okay.
Water spirit guards underwater treasure.
That's a good name, Rakava.
Often depicted as a serpent-like, like a sea serpent.
Yeah.
Serpent-like being.
All right, look. The Rakava art is great, but I got to see another of Ravana, and this time he's got exactly 9 heads.
Okay.
I would really just like some consistency as to how many heads this guy has. That's all I'm asking.
That's not what it's about.
He looks super cool, especially the art where he's doing stuff and he still has all the heads. But like, I just some consistency, please.
This should sound the gorilla.
Okay.
This is a bird, like creature.
Oh.
Guardian of sacred sites and treasures.
Okay.
So bird's body and a human face.
So
they're everywhere.
It's the Garuda, but it's their version of it. The Garuda being the Native American version.
No, there actually is a Garuda that's in India. I don't know so much in. Yeah.
Okay.
Spelled like Gerudo from Link or Zelda, Gerudo, but with an A on the end.
So these are Garula.
Yeah, this is Garula.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Gajamuka, creature, elephant-headed creature, guardian deity.
Garuda's also an FF16. That's very true.
That's true.
And an FF14 and in a couple Final Fantasy.
I think so, yeah. But Gajamuka is also for also deity of prosperity.
Okay. The Gajar are people in Final Fantasy 14 that are elephant people. Oh, okay. They did their homework.
They did what the in Hindu mythology the elephant deity is Ganesh, right? Okay. Ganesh. Hambanawa. This shape changer. Shape shifting demon. That's about the best way to describe that. That is a shape shifting demon.
Okay.
Which story writes itself from that, right?
Yep. Again, I know we sound like broken records when we say it, but almost always you can take any of these mythologies and you can kind of just run them as they are. Like you got all this stuff and you just assign a stat block to it from something similar.
Right.
And you got a cool story right there already.
Yeah. I've already mentioned the Raksha.
Yes.
Okay. The Raksha is a general term for demons.
Right. Not to be confused with a Rakshasa.
Yeah, right. But there are some like the Raksha Bantana.
Right.
Bantana. That one's believed to protect households, like it's dedicated to a certain family.
Oh, okay. So even though originally it might have been a fell spirit, now it is.
Yeah, as Raksha that are not tied to families, it seem like, are malevolent forces, and your Raksha Bandhana will help prevent those malevolent forces.
Yeah,
going through that.
That is true. Will
can't beat them, join them. The Girawali, mythical bird, guards certain sacred locations and treasures. Another one, that has a human face and a bird-like body. Much like the Garula.
Okay.
Or maybe a Girawali is a specific one.
Could be.
Garula is either way. The Andara Damala is a demon.
Ooh.
In Sinhalese mythology that causes illness, bad fortune, kills with sickness.
Don't really want that guy around.
No. Another Devio, the Hanthana Devio.
Okay.
And once again, the guardian deity, but that is with the Hanthana mountain range. And it protects the natural environment. You don't go up there and start moving stuff.
Right.
Do that.
Okay.
So many of these.
Yeah.
Even with them double. Girawa.
Okay.
And this is a sea monster, big sea serpent, that lives off the coastal waters, not super far, but offshore of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Alakapuri Yaksha.
Okay. So another type of Yaksha.
Another Yaksha, but this one is associated with Alakapuri. This is the mythical city.
Right.
Below Anna's Peak.
Agartha.
Yes. Genie Raksha, we talked about that. Yeah, got that one. Oh, I did put these ones on here twice. The Kalabala is evil. Kind of a demon. Let's see.
I knew it was going to be long.
Kahomba Kankaria. That's the last one I got on the list for stories.
Okay.
The Kahomba Kankaria. No, that's a dance. That's a dance.
Yeah.
Yes. Invocation, mystical beings, deities. Some, can be considered monstrous. Kind of intimidating.
I knew it was going to be a long list to start off with because this is the first time we've touched Hindi or Indian mythology, really.
Yeah.
and so I knew we had a lot of ground to cover there. I
Yeah.
didn't know how much of it was going to be in Sri Lanka.
Oh,
That's
I
what's
got you.
really interesting to
Yeah.
me.
Well, it's I don't know. There are a lot of Sri Lanka's strange in its own wonderful way.
Yeah.
Oh, the amount of people that come through there and have lived there in the different groups.
I like it so far.
So I do have some stories.
Story time with Uncle
Do have some good
Greg.
stories. I talked about Kavini and Prince Vijaya at the end of the first of the Sinhalese people. This is their story basically. So long ago, in the ancient land of Lanka, wasn't Sri Lanka yet; it was just Lanka.
Sure.
In fact, you've got the name up here. What it's called to the Tamil people.
Yeah,
Where'd it go?
it is.
Ceylon.
Yeah, Ceylon.
Ceylon. Yeah. Anyway, so long ago in the ancient land of Lanka, there lived a beautiful and mysterious princess named Kavini. She belonged to the Yaka tribe, a group of indigenous people who inhabited the island. One day, a prince from India named Vijaya, along with his followers, was exiled, and they landed on the shores of Lanka. As Prince Vijaya and his men explored the island, they encountered Kavini and her Yaka companions. The prince was struck by Kavini's beauty and approached her. Kavini, too, was captivated by the handsome prince, and they fell in love. Despite their differences in culture and background, they decided to marry, and Kavini became the first queen of Lanka.
Okay.
However, their union did not sit well with Prince Vijaya's followers, who were wary of the Yaka people and their customs. They expressed their discontent and insisted that Vijaya should marry a princess from India instead. Feeling torn between his love for Kavini and the pressure of his followers, Prince Vijaya ultimately decided to send Kavini and their son into exile. Kavini, heartbroken and betrayed, left the kingdom with her son and found solace in the dense forest of Lanka. There she used her knowledge of the land to survive, and she raised her son with care and love. And over time, the child grew into a strong and skilled young man. Meanwhile, Prince Vijaya and his followers continued to establish a kingdom in Lanka, marking the beginning of the Sinhalese civilization. They married Indian princesses, and the Sinhalese people began to thrive on the island.
Okay. I didn't think it was going to end without blood.
Mhm.
I thought once she got exiled, the son was going to come back and take revenge or something.
Like Latest Claim.
But okay then.
No doubt there's something about this that reminds me a bit of, there's an Old Testament story, Hagar,
Yeah.
Sarah's handmaiden,
Yeah.
and her son
Ishmael.
Ishmael. Yeah. Call me Ishmael. Yes.
You and I spend too much time together. We did that at the same time.
But there's not many references
That's true.
to Ishmael, man.
So you probably feel like we spend too much time together anyway.
Yeah, I just don't feel the need to point it out, man.
No, I'm legitimately really surprised that story ends with, he put her in exile and then they're both just on the island. Mm-hmm. I thought, well, then he was going to go back to India.
No.
But no, it's
No.
okay.
No, he didn't. Changed his mind. Okay, so this is the legend of Saman Devalaya and Mahan Saman Devio.
Okay.
Okay? In the central highlands of Sri Lanka, nestled among the lush green mountains and valleys, there lies a sacred place known as Samanala Kanda, or Adam's Peak.
Right.
This is a setting for the mythological story of Maha Samandavio, a revered guardian deity in Sinhalese mythology. According to the legend, long ago, when the island was teeming with supernatural beings and mystical creatures, a colossal challenge arose. A demon king named Sumana was terrorizing the people of the region. He was powerful and could change his form at will, making him nearly invincible. The people, fearful and desperate, called upon the great deity Saman to protect him from the demon's tyranny. Saman, a noble and compassionate guardian of the land, accepted their plea. He transformed himself into a colossal figure and confronted Samana on the summit of Samanala Kanda. A fierce battle ensued between the two mighty beings. The earth trembled, the skies roared as they clashed. For many days the battle raged on, but Saman's unwavering determination and divine power prevailed. He finally defeated the demon king Samana and banished him from the sacred mountain. With the victory, Saman transformed into Maha Saman Deviyo, the guardian deity of the Central Highlands and protector of Sri Lanka. His sacred footprint, known as Sripada, or Anna's Peak, is believed to be imprinted at the summit of the mountain.
Okay.
To this day, I talked about there's pilgrims, Buddhists, Hindu, and everything. They make the journey up to Samalakanda to pay homage to Mahasamandeviyo. There's the countless steps that lead up to the summit, marked with lanterns up there. They ascend to witness the holy footprint, and when people make to believe that going to Anna's Peak and making the offerings to Mahasamandeviyo brings blessings and brings blessings and protection for the good of the people.
Okay. So he was a regular deity, spirit.
Yes.
Made himself huge so he could go fight. When he won the fight, he got to become, he got a promotion.
Yeah.
And now he's guardian spirit of the whole area.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the guardian spirit of the whole area. Yeah, he did what the Power Rangers should do.
Yeah.
And he went full, was it Zorg mode?
Yeah, from the beginning.
From the beginning, at the beginning of the fight. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and get huge.
That's pretty cool. I like that these spirits just have the ability to be like, all right, sure. That's great.
All right, so here's the tale of Kalawaria, or the black demon of the forest.
Oh.
Okay? In the heart of the dense, mysterious forest of Sri Lanka, there lived a formidable and terrifying creature known as Kalawaraya, the black demon. Kalawaraya was a monstrous being with a fearsome appearance. His skin was dark as night and his eyes blazing like fiery coals. He had long, sharp claws and fangs, and his laughter echoed through the deep forest. Kalawaraya was known to be a guardian of the forest, but his protection came at a great price. It is said that he would demand offerings from those who dared to enter his domain. If anyone wandered into his territory without making the proper appeasements, the black demon would unleash his wrath, causing harm and chaos. However, Kalawaraya was not entirely malevolent. Deep within his heart, there was a glimmer of compassion, and he was not without reason. He would sometimes test the intentions of intruders, asking them riddles and challenges. Those who approached with respect and sincerity could earn his favor and the protection of the forest. One day, a courageous and clever hunter named Danu ventured in the heart of the forest. Rather than seeking to harm the creature of the wood, he sought the wisdom and guidance of Kalawaraya. The black demon, intrigued by Danu's intentions, appeared before the hunter and set a series of challenges. Danu, with wit and humility, passed each test, impressing Kalawaraya. In response, the black demon granted him knowledge and secrets of the forest, teaching him the ways to live in harmony with nature and respect all living beings. From that day forward, Danu became a protector of the forest, and the creatures of the woods regarded him as a friend. Kalawaraya, too, was pleased with their newfound alliance and vowed to guard the forest without causing harm to those who entered it with good intentions.
Okay. I thought that was going to go very differently, but that's interesting.
Well, when you say something's known as the black demon, like he's just going to bite his head off and pick up his body and drink the blood like he was he opened a can of Coke.
Yeah.
But no.
This is going to end in conflict.
He wasn't. And that day, Kalawaraya heart grew 3 times the size.
Yeah.
Or is it that?
Thanks to Danuluhu.
Yeah, Danu. Not Donahue. That was a different show.
Yeah. That's cool.
The legend of Nalagiri and the compassion of Lord Buddha.
Okay.
All right. So, in ancient times, during the life of Lord Buddha, He hadn't ate the pork yet.
Right.
A powerful and fearsome elephant named Nalagiri roamed the kingdom. Nalagiri was known for its aggressive and destructive nature, caused fear and chaos wherever he went. He was tamed by no one, and the mere sight of him struck terror into the hearts of all who encountered him. One day, the Buddha was residing in the city of Rajagaha. King Ajatasattu, seeking to challenge Buddha's teachings, had planned a great procession featuring the enraged Nalagiri. The plan was to release the wild elephant to attack Buddha as he made his alms round throughout the city. As Nalagiri approached, the Buddha's compassionate presence remained unwavering. He continued to walk calmly, radiating loving kindness and peace. The sight of the serene Buddha had a profound effect on Nalagiri. As he came closer to the Buddha, the wild elephant's aggression began to subside. When Nalagiri reached the Buddha, he knelt down before him, lowered his head, and touched the Buddha's feet with his trunk as a gesture of reverence. The crowd, witnessing this remarkable transformation, was astounded by the Buddha's compassion and divine presence. The king, deeply moved by the incident, recognized the spiritual greatness of the Buddha. He vowed to support the Buddha's teaching and cease any opposition. Nalagiri was released from his chains and treated with care and kindness.
Okay. Yet again, seemed like there was going to be blood, but instead,
no bloodshed.
Peacefully resolved.
I'm not saying there's not any bloodshed. Anywhere
Right.
you got people involved, a long history.
Oh, yeah.
There's some of the most beautiful, like, faith in humanity things that happen, and some of the worst, like, I hate people
Yeah.
type things that happen.
This page has plenty of wars on it. I'll put
Yes,
it that way.
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
No, it just I like that. That's nice. There's not a lot of stories that I've read in mythology about the Buddha that aren't just Buddhist teachings, right?
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have a story that's like, no, this is the Buddha met when he was still a man. He met one of our mythological creatures,
Yeah.
and everything was fine.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of cool.
Have you ever, because like many religions around, Buddhism has its own little things, and there's a section of Buddhism called Zen
Yes.
Buddhism, and they've got these, what do they call them? They're not cantos. What do they call them? Little short stories.
Okay.
Right? Like one's called Ganto's Axe. And here's the full story. I'll give it to you right quick.
Okay.
Two monks were praying in a tent. Ganto walked in with his axe in hand and says, "If you move, I will cut your head off. If you do not move, I will cut your head off."
Okay.
And that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
Right through there. I got another one to tell you, but I want you to know I had a guy get like super upset about this at the end of the story.
Yeah.
And I'll explain why. So, it's another one of the little Cohens.
Okay.
Koan.
Yeah.
Cohens.
Okay.
Yeah, Buddhist Kohen. Another one is this. Two Buddhist monks were sitting and praying, and the Buddhist leader there mentioned that the blinds were open, and one of the Buddhist monks got up, went over and closed the blind, and came back and sat back down. Who showed they were the most Buddha-like? I'll give you a second.
Okay. Because there's three people in this scenario. The one who didn't get up and continued praying, the one who did get up and stopped praying,
Yeah.
but did a kind deed for another,
Yeah.
and the one that pointed out the problem in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was the one that got up and did a kindness for another.
Okay. If you say so. I never asked you a question. I told you a story that started and ended.
Yeah,
I just told you
I
a
got
story.
you. I got you.
I don't know
the
where
story
you're coming.
ends with the question.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why you've
Yeah.
come up and tried to
Right.
explain your
Of
answer.
course.
That's
Yeah.
not Buddha-like at all.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what are you
I
doing?
like that.
All right,
like
whatever. Moving on.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. that kind of thing. It's kind of strange.
The whole thing makes you think it's a question you're being asked,
Yeah.
but in actuality, it's a question you're supposed to ask yourself.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There is no question.
Right.
There is no spoon.
Yeah.
All right. This is kind of a cool story. The tale of Goddess Patini and the healing of the king.
Okay.
All right. So, in the ancient city of Anuradhapura in Sri Lanka, there lived a wise and just king named Gajabahu.
Okay.
His kingdom was flourishing, and his subjects loved him dearly. However, despite his wealth and power, King Gajabahu had a persistent illness that no healer could cure. He grew weaker with each passing day, and his people were filled with worry. One night, King Gajabahu had a dream. In this dream, a radiant and compassionate goddess appeared before him. She identified herself as Patini Devio, the goddess of purity, chastity, and healing. She told the king that his illness was a consequence of a moral wrongdoing and that he needed to seek her sacred relic to be healed. Determined to regain his health and his people's well-being, King Gajabahu embarked on a journey to find the sacred relic of Patini Devio. His quest led him through dense forests, across rivers, and up steep mountains, until he reached a remote cave deep, deep in the wilderness. In the cave, King Gajabahu discovered the sacred relic of the goddess. It was a golden anklet worn by Patini Devio herself. With great reverence, he took the relic and returned to his kingdom. Upon his return, King Gajabahu organized a grand ceremony to honor Goddess Patini. He placed the relic on a golden throne and invited his subjects to witness the divine event. As the relic was displayed, a brilliant light radiated from it, illuminating the entire city. In the presence of the sacred relic, King Gajabahu was miraculously healed, and his health was fully restored. His people rejoiced. The kingdom flourished even more under his benevolent rule.
Hey, One Digits.
What's going on, man?
Glad you're here.
Very glad you're here. Do you type like this? I'm just wondering. All right.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
So,
I probably can't answer them, but
right. He was sent to go get the anklet because he had moral wrongdoing, right?
Yeah.
Nice. But he didn't actually overcome his moral wrongdoing. He just put it on display and showed. Maybe his moral wrongdoing was that he wasn't showing the goddess enough praise.
Possibly, but when you go into so I am going to talk out of school here, telltales out of school a little bit, and could definitely be called out for this. The moral wrongdoing is not exactly some action he took.
Okay.
It is a much like in a few other religions, Christianity, it is part of him being a human.
Okay. I understand.
And
now.
so the sacrifice he had to undertake to go through the wood, past grandma's house and all that, to go get that and put it on display and say that, this goddess is worth this. Yeah.
And he had to do it in front of everybody.
Right. And it kind of lined up his moral compass better.
Okay. I got you. That makes more sense. I thought he had done something specific.
Yeah.
And then the answer was just go get this thing.
Yes, we are. We're in the same room today.
Yeah. Mondays and Thursdays.
Yes. And you see, I'll talk to him as well, and I'll turn back to y'all here.
Don't think I can break the illusion. Nope. I don't think I broke it. Oh, no, I did. Delay. I actually broke it way before I thought I did. Let's just move on.
The story of the veneration of Damala Mahasaya.
Okay.
So, in the heart of the ancient city of Anuradhapura, which we've talked about before, there stood, it's broken the fourth wall. I need to put a wall up.
Yeah, protect yourself.
Yeah. There stood a magnificent stupa known as Damala Mahasaya, which means the Great Stupa of the Tamils.
Right.
This stupa was believed to house the relics of ancient Tamil king, a testament to the island's rich history of diverse cultures. The legend of Damala Mahasaya tells of a time when the people of Anuradhapura, Sinhalese, and Tamil alike came together to honor and venerate a Tamil king. It was a gesture of respect for the king and a symbol of unity between the two communities.
Okay.
The stupa's construction was a massive undertaking, and people from all walks of life, regardless of their ethnic background, contributed to its building. Sinhalese and Tamil workers labored side by side, their shared purpose transcending their cultural differences. As the stupa reached its completion, a grand ceremony was held. People from across the region, regardless of their ethnicity, came to pay homage to the Tamil king's relics. They offered prayers, incense, and flowers, and the air was filled with a sense of harmony and mutual respect.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't know much about the Tamil people from what we've covered tonight.
Yeah, we haven't really got... So this is why Sri Lanka is kind of weird, because it doesn't... I can't go like, this is their one thing, you know?
Yeah.
For any one people, it's like, no, they kind of just mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. It's cool to me that they have a legend where they both were working together. Because I feel like, I don't know
Just
this,
second.
but I feel like there were probably some divisions among the people at points in history. And so it makes me feel good to know that there's at least some times when there were not.
I'm sure there have been civil wars in Sri Lanka as a nation.
Yeah.
You know, in civil wars, there's been lots of different battles. There's been hostilities with India, different settlers.
Yeah.
You know, there were times that there wasn't. You know, this building was one of those times.
And it still exists today from what I can tell with Google Images. So
Yeah, you can actually take a look at it.
it's good. That's good.
Okay, this is a legend of Gambara Devio.
Okay.
As it guards villages, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the quiet, remote villages of Sri Lanka, the people held deep reverence for a guardian spirit known as Gambara Devio. Gambara Devio was believed to be a protector of these villages, ensuring the well-being of the inhabitants and guarding their boundaries. The legend goes that Gambara Devio was a spirit of immense strength and courage. He was said to have a human-like form, but with extraordinary powers that made him a formidable protector. He was particularly known for his watchful eyes that never missed a detail, especially in the dark of night. As a guardian of villages, Gambara Devio took his role seriously. He would roam the outskirts, making sure that the boundaries were secure and that no harm would come to the villagers. He was believed to possess the ability to ward off evil spirits, misfortune, and any malevolent forces that threatened the community. In return for Gambara Devio's protection, the villagers would offer him rituals, prayers, and offerings of gratitude. They would light oil lamps and place them among the village boundaries, creating a protective barrier of light. And they would also invoke his name in times of need, asking for his guidance and shelter.
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. I like that, again, he was just a spirit, and they were like, hey, guard our stuff. And he was like, all right, sure.
Yeah. It's like, I'll do it. We will pray to you. I do find, like I said, this is one of the more interesting ones in the fact that it's like, no, this is a powerful, all-protective deity.
Yeah.
For that city.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
This is a powerful, all-protective village. You know, for deity, for those villages over there.
Yeah, look, man, that's out of my protection range. I don't know what to tell you. You got attacked on the verge of my territory. You should really go talk to that other spirit over there. Maybe you're in his delivery range, you know.
All right, I got a couple more. I'm going through here. I got to talk about Mahasona the demon.
Okay.
Also known as Ritikala Jayasena.
Okay.
And I hope I'm doing some decency to some of these names that I'm saying. Or at least I'm sounding like I At least I'm BSing my way through it well enough to where it's
I
like,
can't tell you you're doing great because I legitimately don't know, but I think you're doing fine.
all right. So Mahayasona, fearsome demon in Sinhalese folklore, actually is the most powerful demon.
Okay.
Believed to haunt the afterlife, especially graveyards.
Take that, black demon of the forest.
Sometimes pictured surrounded by human corpses, large rocks and hills. See you later, Reeves. And junctions where 3 roads meet.
Okay.
So their own crossroads, but it takes 3 roads to meet here for that. He haunts all these different places.
It's a lot of places.
Usually it kills its human prey by crushing their shoulders. Having about the shoulders and crushing. And also by afflicting illnesses. Usually at night or at dusk, when people are alone, and he leaves his mark of a hand embossed on the flesh of the body. He's also able to possess humans, and you have to have an exorcism ritual performed by Katadia, which is an exorcist to repel the demon. Now, here's the origin story of this demon.
Okay.
So, Mahasona is formerly known as Ritigala Jayasena, a human warrior giant who served in King Dutugumunu's army among 10 great giants. There was a time of celebration after a victory from a war. They had been they'd been invaded by King Galara, and they had won, and they'd repulsed the invasion, and so they're having a party. The 10 great giants were also there, and they're participating in this.
That's a sentence. The 10 great giants were also there.
There we go. So Jayasena.
Have a good one, man.
See you later. They're just doing like, ooh, golly.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Get it done. So Jayasena offended a fierce warrior in a as he was drunk. Basically got drunk and insulted the guy's wife.
Oh, boy.
So Gatayambara, warrior, challenges him for a battle and schedules a date and time to fight on a graveyard. On the scheduled day, the fight, that was a completely different story. That's rough, man. God, it was due today.
Yeah.
The fight was started with a grand ceremony, and they fought it with each other, showing their strength.
Okay.
The scheduled date of time to fight in the open graveyard. They fought with each other, so straight. Gotambara decapitates Jayasena.
Oh.
With a single flying kick to Jayasena's head.
Thunderlegs?
He kicks off this dude's head for calling this dude called his wife ugly, and he kicked off his head.
It's my favorite story in all of them now.
So scene, it's kind of an embarrassing situation from Jayasen, right?
Yeah.
Man, right, just not looking good. He was drunk, shouldn't have said it, got his head kicked off. So a deity called Wesamuni took pity and tries to resurrect him before the cadaver goes cold.
Okay.
Problem was, his head got kicked off, and the deity couldn't find his head on time. And he's frantically searching for the head. There's no more time. The body's going to start getting cold soon. It's going to be too late to resurrect him. So trying to find Jayasena's head, the deity found a bear head in a hurry, and he fit the bear head backwards on Jayasena's body and revives him in this grotesque form.
It's my favorite story.
And gives him some supernatural powers for the newly formed demon.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you felt bad for Reverse Bear Man.
Yes.
This is my favorite story. This is it.
So
you started by talking about this terrible demon that crushes people.
Yeah.
And then he's just like the most, like...
He was a drunk man got his head kicked off and had a bear head put on backwards. Was brought that to life and given superpowers. This is the strangest superhero story I've ever heard in my life.
This terrible demon sympathetic. Because I do sympathize with him. I feel bad.
Persona, that Mahasona. Yeah. That Mahasona, M-A-H-A space S-O-N-A, in Sahala means great demon of the graveyard. So
Poor guy, man. He woke up and
yeah, the bare head on backwards just kind of like throws a whole new thing in that.
yep.
Like this powerful deity going, well, you kicked his head off and now you lost it. Trying to get this guy back together.
Got to do it quick.
Come on.
He's getting cold. That's great. Again, like there's been some really good stories throughout all these different mythologies.
Yes.
My favorite for a long time has been the man who turned into a bird and then his friend
Threw a spear.
threw a spear
Yeah.
and it became his beak. This is now my favorite.
Right.
Mahasoma.
And what the deity too? Just like a bear sitting over.
Yeah,
He gets its head and rip off.
What?
Okay.
I love it.
So I got to tell you about a guy named Andari now.
Okay.
A story about Andari, the royal comedian. So in ancient times, there was a comedian in the palace. His name is Andari, and his duty was telling funny stories to keep the king smiling. In that period, there was a paddy field event to select the best farmer.
Okay.
One day, a farmer came to the castle to meet the king to tell a problem he was facing. There was a big stone in the middle of his paddy field. I'm going to tell you right now, the story's kind of strange.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. So he couldn't grow paddy for the event because there's a big stone in the field.
Okay.
The king commanded the men to remove it. Everybody tried, couldn't move it. But Andari agreed to remove it with some condition. He asked to live for 1 month, as wealthy and healthy as a king. So the king granted his request and provided the luxury life he requested for 1 month. After 1 month, many people eagerly gathered to see his superhuman work. While everyone was watching, he asked 4 strong men from the king to lift the stone and put it on his back so he could piggyback it to another location. Then the king asked, "You have promised to move the stone, and why are you not doing it by yourself?" And Dowry replied, "Yes, your highness. What I promise is to relocate the stone, and I will do it gladly if someone lifts the stone and put it on my back." Everyone laughed, except the king. Yeah, he was a bit angry about this story's action, but forgave him since he did not technically contradict what he said earlier.
Right.
Right.
So I do have a question.
Okay.
If nobody could move the stone, but 4 guys could pick the stone up and put it on his back,
Look,
why didn't they just...
I didn't write this thing, all
You
right?
warned me ahead of time.
Yeah.
I get what the lesson's supposed to be. The lesson is the letter of the law is not the same thing as...
The spirit, yeah.
Yeah.
What I said.
So rules is written instead of rules is intended, but, you know.
Yeah.
But
When it's convenient.
4 people could already lift the stone. Just get 4 people to move it so the farmer can grow stuff.
Yeah. Y'all need patties. Come on. Gah. Get the patties. All right. Queen Vaharamahi Devi.
Okay.
So, once upon a time, there was a king named Kalantisa, and he ruled in Kalania.
Okay.
So, according to legend, it is believed that the king Kalantisa murdered a high priest of a monk and threw the body into the sea. Because of this, the ocean flooded.
Oh.
People were scared and they went to the king for help. Astrologers and wise men told him to sacrifice his most beautiful daughter, Devi, to the ocean. It was the only way to save the land. A golden boat was built, and Princess Devi was sacrificed to the sea. The sea suddenly turned calm. The boat went towards Kirindi in the south. The people of Karinda saw the boat and informed it to King Kawantisa. And he went, not Kalantisa, Kawantisa.
Okay.
Different kingdom, a little bit further to the south. Okay.
Right.
Not Kelina, Karindi. Okay. So he went to see this beautiful lady from the sea, and he took Princess Devi to his palace. Sometime after, he fell in love with her. She became his queen, and they lived happily ever after.
Well, congratulations to them. When it said sacrifice to the sea, I assumed she was thrown into the water.
Well, they made her a boat and pushed her out on it.
So-
So they let her well.
Have a good one, Will. So, I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
It could have. A lot of these set up like, ooh, and then they put her on her boat and pushed her, and she
Yeah.
just went down there and became the queen of another land.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Two big, strong guys are going to fight. No, he kicks his head off.
Right. Yeah. And he gets a bare head, I'll put him backwards, and becomes the most powerful demon.
I still want that movie. I want that movie really bad.
I'm telling you, man. That was great. People come up with some crazy stuff. Love it. All right. So I'm going to tell you about the got a couple of short stories.
Okay.
Out of Sri Lanka. All right. So the farmer who went to heaven. So there was a farmer in a village.
Okay.
Gamarala farmer. One day he noted that a wild animal had eaten his crops, and he learned there were big, and going out there studying, he found big rounded marks.
Okay.
And he thought this is bad translation. Hold on. It looks like a Wagindi had been out there.
Okay.
He thought the Wagindi, he thought it was witchcraft, basically.
Okay.
That brought the animals in to destroy his crops, okay?
Yeah.
He thought so anyway, he thought it was Wagindi, this rice worker witch thing, done that. So he told the villagers to tie up their Wagindi, and so the villagers did.
Okay.
The next day, he went to the paddy field and he still saw the same outcome.
Okay.
So that night, he decided to keep watch.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah. On the dead of night, suddenly a wonderful tusker elephant came to the paddy field and began to eat. Began to eat the crops. When the elephant tries to leave, the farmer runs up and catches it by its tail.
Oh.
The elephant surprises the elephant. The elephant takes off into the sky.
Like Dumbo flapping or just...
Yeah, just...
Okay. Okay.
You know, thought it and flew out the window. And taking off the sky. After a long journey, the elephant landed on a beautiful garden that was above the clouds.
Of course.
And the farmer was so scared he never let go of the tail.
As you do.
Right. Well, the next day, the elephant returned to Earth, and the farmer let go of the tail when they got back. He went and told his family that he'd went to heaven hanging by the tail of a flying elephant. So the next day, his family weren't like, "You're lying." No, they're like, "All right, well, we're going to keep watch too. Surely an elephant can take all of us. It's strong enough to do that."
Oh, no.
Right. So they returned, told his family. His family was ready to go with him. So they went out and kept watch. The elephant returned. The farmer held the elephant's tail. His wife caught the farmer's legs. His child, and apparently some of the children's friends also held on to each other's legs, and they just holding on to each legs formed a train. So while they were flying along, the farmer was so excited that others were going to see this, and this farmer started talking about a watermelon in the heaven in this garden, and
No.
decided it'd be a good idea to take his hands and turn around and show his family as the elephant was flying. Of course, he fell. Yeah. Now look, all of them fell off into a haystack, and the elephant never returned.
Oh.
The assassin screamed.
That. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, this is not mythology I'm used to. I'm used to, and the story ends with somebody's dead.
And his brother removed his brother's eyes, cut out his tongue, and tied his hands behind his back with his small intestine.
Right.
And they lived happily ever after.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to.
Yeah,
not. Oh yeah, and they fell into haystacks. They're fine. The elephant was like, never again.
All right.
Why would you watermelon, man? It's not worth it. Your whole family
Watermelon's this big. Yeah. Kind of strange. Just one more little story. Some of these stories are just kind of interesting. Ancient times in Sri Lanka, there was a king named King Datusena, and he built a tank, like a big water thing in the northern province inland to hold water, right?
Yeah.
There's a little boy named near this tank named Kala.
Okay.
And one day, on a rainy day, he was walking in the bank of the tank, and he noticed a small leak coming out of the embankment that he
That's a
built
problem.
up. He noticed the tiny leak was increasing. He didn't have time enough to take to go back and get people to bring back to repair it.
Right.
Figured this was going to go. So what he did, he put his head in the hole.
Oh.
It's not like he's going to put his head in the hole to stop the leak.
Okay.
Which it did, and he stayed there the whole night. And this killed him.
Of course.
And then the people believed that Kala was reborn of the god, as a god.
Yeah.
And they named the tank after Kala. Kala Wewa is Kala's tank.
I'm sure he thought someone else would come along to see.
He didn't have time to worry about it. He's saving the tank, water. This is water for the people.
Look, that's more what I'm used to.
And decided to use his head.
He did. He succeeded.
There's some wild stuff. I was a little bit behind. I didn't quite get some in. There's I don't know the name of it. There's a mythological creature with the head of an elephant. It's got the body of a lion, and in its trunk it carries a double sword.
Oh.
Through there. There's a couple of wild creatures.
Yeah.
In Sri Lankan mythology. But that's about what I've got to, for tonight, to skim over it, to run through it, and give some stuff.
Look, all I'm saying is if you're going to run Sri Lankan mythology in your TTRPG campaign and you don't at some point find a man in a graveyard, a demon in a graveyard with the backwards head of a bear on it,
Yeah, right.
you have messed up.
One more small thing.
Okay.
Sinha is lion. That means lion in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So I don't know, the Sinhalese, the people that like lion people, something like that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Which I don't think there's any lions in.
So where did they see them?
Translates to lion people.
Where did they see them then?
Yeah. It's on their flag,
Yeah.
holding a sword,
Very cool.
and
I
on
like
their
that flag, actually.
on their emblem, whatever.
I like that flag a lot.
As we go out, you got pulled over there. You got a couple. Just get an idea. We're sitting on Sri Lanka's off the southern coast of India.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Pang. It's a country of how many people?
22 million.
There's 22 people. Lots of different long-established groups.
Yeah. The Moors, the Tamils, the Burghers,
Yeah.
Malays,
Chinese,
Veda, and Sinhalese, of course, as we talked about.
Yeah, was stayed on.
It's good, deep history.
We got some Dutch showing up later.
Mm-hmm.
Going through that.
Lots of stuff going on.
Oh yeah. At one point in time, I think they had a war for independence.
Yeah.
And actually, a couple of them from that. It's the Democratic Republic of Sri Lanka. Is the official name of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. World's a crazy place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a crazy place.
It's a big place, too.
It is.
And speaking of how big it is, where are we going next week? I got some recommendations. I still think that we could find some cool stuff in Mexico.
Yeah.
But we've also got more of a, like, heading back up towards the Russian side. We got stuff like Kazakhstan.
I wonder if they'd be Slavic. Going through that.
We've got Hungary.
That might be interesting. It might be Slavic as well. I don't know.
We covered Chile not that long ago, so I don't know that we want to jump straight to, like, Panama. But
Panama.
Could be some fun stuff there. But also, like, Algeria.
Algeria might be interesting.
I think Algeria could be really fun.
Let's do Algeria.
Okay.
I'll try to get some stuff to kind of skim through for Algeria.
As always, if by Thursday Algeria has wound up being not a carbon copy, because it's not how it works, but it's very similar to another one we've already covered, then I'll have more SCP stuff ready just in case.
All right, yeah. I don't think so. I think that might be...
I think it'll be unique, too.
Okay. All right, Q.
Tomorrow, we'll be doing Gundam Evolution, because we have like a week and a half until it's gone, and I don't want to risk missing it. So we'll do Gundam Evolution tomorrow. Normal time.
Okay.
Have a good time there. Probably not going to have a good time there, but we're going to try and have a good time there. And then Monday, we'll be back with MO Mondays.
Yes.
Lotrom.
Yes.
We're going to work through there. Really excited for where we're at right now. Been doing some of the quests around there, and I really like the side quest stories. So
And Stangard, yeah.
Tuesday, we'll have the regular podcast. Wednesday, you'll play something.
Yeah.
Thursday, we'll vote on what he's going to play. Tuesday at the end of the...
Yeah. Figure it out. We'll figure it out Tuesday.
Thursday, we'll be talking about Algeria.
Yes.
And then next Friday, we'll probably play Liza P again. So,
Okay.
anything else we might have forgot? I think we got it all.
No, just appreciate everybody hanging out as long as you can. Those who left, those that still with us, those that'll watch later. Thank you all. You know, they're super unique, super special. You know how I feel about you. It took thousands of years, thousands of years, millions and millions of people to create you. There's never been anything like you in the universe. And never will be again. So thank you for spending time with us as we talk about, you know, as our dumb little minds try to figure this stuff out. Best ways to talk about them.
He kicked his head off.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rungry.
This has been the Full Spectrum TTRPG podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Sri Lanka has to offer.